Hey, good morning. Thanks for that comment, Andrew. That's so fun that you're at Prairie Farm. Oh, I can just feel like the size of my classroom has really grown. Ah, so take time to settle in. You can grab your water. Take a little sip. Ah. So, friends, you might be familiar with how I have kind of a theme for the week. And on Tuesday class, I really got into shifting a little from the psoas area, the lower back, pelvis, to kind of the upper body, and making sure that we're creating like all this spaciousness in the upper body. Now, it's all connected, right? But and then in Tuesday we really got into some back bend. But in this class, being the level one, what I want to explore is how to kind of get into the spaciousness of the chest without having to take your spine into a really like giant deep back bend at all. So we'll go ahead and begin just sitting. So it all begins just with awareness moving into the body. And this reminder, everything I tell you, or suggest that you do, that you're really guided from within. So as you close your eyes, just start to feel your body and taking some deeper breaths. So as you take some deeper breaths, this there's kind of a feeling of force, like just that kind of sweeping the body with your breath. I sometimes think of it as a filtration system, like this big wave that moves through your body. Like we just got a little fish tank, and there's that filter on there, and you can turn up the airflow on it. And like the more powerful that airflow, like it bubbles, like it's really charging, and then it's like the filtration is a little more intense. And it's a little what we're doing with what you could possibly do with your breath, kind of turning up that bubbler. And feeling the base of the body, maybe that your lower back and how you can lift out of your lower back. And then it starts to go all the way up to your upper back and then even higher. So rather than, kind of stopping just at your chest, so we're going to go like right through your throat. Feel the alignment of your throat, your chin is level, and even your mouth. Even align like your eyeballs. So what happens then is at the very crown of your head is lifting straight up. And hopefully this results in space in the chest, windpipe throat, mouth, even your sinuses, if you can tell kind of around your upper nostrils. When you follow, nostrils are open too. We'll just do some big sun breaths where you reach your arms way out to the side. You bring your arms all the way up. Now feel as you take a deep inhale here, reaching And then as you exhale, you bring your arms all the way down. And you just keep doing that while feeling this alignment. So there might be, adjusting. So when we repeatedly do something, there might be those little movements to bring alignment in. Maybe even the sounding breath of that ujjayi breath. One more full cycle. Feel the sweeping and imagine the breath moving into the whole body. Good. And then as you let go, you're going to release your seated pose. And as you go onto your back, you're going to recline right away on your mat. So, I point this out a lot, but when you lay on your back, it's a real natural way to align through your whole spine and up all the way up through the crown of your head. So as you reach your arms out to the side here, really feel your shoulder blades. I love using the floor here and how you can use the floor to kind of pull the shoulder blades down a little bit, but it's more like they're just pushing right on the back. So you might sense like this is a big opening across your chest without doing a back bend at all. And then even just slightly feel like the weight of your head and even like push the back of your head down into the floor. You're just sensing that grounding of the head. And as you do that, maybe there's even a little lift of your breastbone. And then why not here? We're going to kind of slide the legs and we'll work the lower back, lower front as we work our psoas. So extend your right leg out really long. And you might draw your navel down a little bit as you do this so that you don't arch your lower back as you extend your right leg. Pull the left knee in towards your chest. And just breathe, really keep your throat nice and open. And then just let that left foot go down. And then the left leg extends out. Draw your navel down towards the floor and then bring the right knee into the chest. We have all this kind of subtle awareness now. Right foot comes down, right leg lengthens, and then left knee pulls into the chest. Move back and forth here in your own way, being sensitive to how this feels. And as you're going back and forth, you're maintaining that spaciousness in the chest and the throat, even around your brain and your eyeballs. So there's no, like tensing or holding your breath at all. Your breath is really flowing. So can you feel that river of breath? Even listen, like you can hear smooth inhale, smooth exhale. You are working a little bit your abdominal muscles here. Good way of just waking them up. And then bend both knees and lift your feet up away from the floor. We'll just start our little twist. So here you glue your legs together And then you drop your knees a little to the right. Lift your left buttock up. Keep your upper back grounding down. So your shoulders are down. And then you go up and over to the left. Keep lengthening the spine as you're doing this little twist. Now, the legs kind of hover here while you lift your chest and align your throat. So switch sides again. The knees drop about halfway down to the right. Breathe and feel this, almost pressing your head down. And then switching. Now your head might move. You might look a little bit to the right when your legs drop to the left. So now you get to breathe and do this kind of smooth back and forth. You know, this is when the yoga really starts, where you can just let go of the words and breathe and feel and explore this action, this freedom, and even a sense of delight. You know, that delight goes way beyond like, oh, I really like my body, or, you know, I'm so happy I can do this pose. It's just the delight of being here and being present. Connecting to the body. Mouth relaxed. And just that freedom of tension. Good. Now, as you let this go, you're going to reach up and grab your thighs and lift your head up. And go ahead and move into like just a sit up here, where you're like pulling your forehead towards your knees. Contracting. And then lift the feet up and kind of swing the legs to come all the way up. So as you come up here, let's just take the soles of the feet together. Just as they move together, the knees now reach way out to the side. And then this also gets really wide across your shoulders. So there's that intentional widening across the chest, and maybe even bringing yourself a little more upright. But this one can really work that feeling of the whole spine pulling into your body, not pushing your spine back. So your shoulder blades continue to pull down and your collarbones lift up a little bit here. Breathe to your belly. Good. Now as you let this go, the knees come up. Let's just do one little repetitive action now with the arms really intentionally behind you when you drop to your elbows. So when your elbows are down, you have to lift your chest up a little bit. You also have to lift your head because you're not dangling your head back. So let the legs move. Bicycle action here, and keep growing wide across your chest. And then just let that go. Just use your elbows, push yourself up, reach your legs way out to the side. Way out. So this is the pose of Uppa, Vista, Konasana, where the legs are wide apart, toes point up, and you're bringing yourself upright. And this is a big action in your hips. So let's move now to that half circle pose. So why don't we bend the right knee and just bring your right foot in towards your left thigh here. And your right hand is going to reach away from you out to the side. And you're going to reach that left arm up. Now, you could just stay here and feel like your shoulder blades push on your back. If you want to, you could also push into that bottom right hand and lift up, like lift your pelvis way up here. And this one can turn into as much of a chest opener, back bend as you want to, especially because we're still kind of warming up the body. Just like a morning stretch. You're up here, and then you release down. Your butt drops down, and then you switch sides. So that right leg extends. Your left foot draws in towards your right thigh, and that left hand reaches out to the left. Now you're just sweeping that right arm up, and just feeling that reaching. If you want to, you really push into the floor and you lift up. This one also, is going to get into a bit of that psoas stretch as you draw your tailbone in. But it can be as big or small as you want. Now, slowly down. As you come down, you get to go to the other side again. In fact, we're just going to let this kind of flow back and forth. So left leg extends, right foot on that inner left thigh. Reach that left arm up, maybe lifting the butt up away from the floor. So this might really open your airways, the throat, chest, like move your jaw a little bit here, drop down and switch sides. Now, of course, I can't see you, so you could do this however you want, however slow or fast that you want to move back and forth. Waking up your body. So I'm just going to go one more each side. Bringing a little weight, reaching. Just that. Top arm is just going to move around a little bit and explore that. The joints are waking up here. I'm going to switch, move to my left side. So lifting up, draw the tailbone in. Just feel even your lungs. Imagine you could feel that whole space inside your ribs opening up. Good. And then just release down here. So let's move on to all fours. Specifically, cat and cow. Now we'll just start to move your whole spine. But what I love too is when you're doing cat and cow, your head is involved. So you really get to choose, what you're doing with your head, or maybe you're just sensing like your chin. When you go to your cat pose, you might pull your chin way into your throat, like just squeeze in. And then as you go to your cow pose, you're going to lift your chin up, like really get that feeling, not only through your chest, but neck. Throat. Breathe through your nose as you do a few more of these. And feel the passageways. Your nose, your sinuses, throat, mouth. You might find yourself swallowing here because this one really gets into that cleansing of the throat. Good. And then move yourself right to downward facing dog. Hands come forward. As one option, I just like to throw in some, different ways of doing things. You could even reach up and grab the corners of your mat and actually really grab them and hold them and press your weight on your inner wrist and the base of your thumb as you go to your down dog. Sometimes this can feel, well, very stabilizing. Like if you have a slippery mat, this might feel really good because you can, you're not going to slip here. Now feel your chest. Like, oh, I'm going to get really wide across my shoulders and my chest, but work to straighten my arms. Now go ahead and move your feet. Just bend your right knee a little bit and reach your left heel down, and then switch that. Bend the left knee, reach your right heel down. So you're warming up through the lower legs, your ankles, feet, calves. Make sure that your throat, windpipe are aligned so you're not crushing anything. You can breathe. Good. Let's go ahead and come to standing. Just walk forward and come all the way out. So as you come up here, make sure your feet are parallel. And then reach your arms out to the side. So as we reach arms out to the side, there's that action of the shoulder blades really pressing on the back. Again, not so much a back bend, but definitely awareness of that space across your chest. And then bring awareness to the crown of your head is reaching up, almost as if your back of your head is pushing back. And then just feel this alignment, uprightness. And possibly you're engaging around the pelvis and you're lifting your navel up a little bit here. So neck keeps getting longer. Good, and then as you bring the arms down, right alongside you, let's just move to kind of a marching action where we're just gonna kind of get the breath flowing. So you could start just a little, like feeling that lift of your knees up. While you're doing that same stuff up around the upper body, staying wide, lifting the crown of the head up, feeling like throat, neck vertebra really lengthening here. And then as you pause, we're just going to do this like a little more dynamic with the breath. So you're going to inhale, reach your arms up and one knee up. And then you exhale down. So inhale, exhale, back and forth. Pause. You might swallow, because when we really breathe like that, it can kind of dry things out a little bit because of that air movement. So we're going to do that again and really imagine from your nostrils all the way to your lungs, like those airways, you can feel that they're really opening up, like as big as you can get. So part of that is the alignment of these passageways. So as you're ready, pause. Notice noticing how that feels. Again, swallowing, even grab a sip of water if you need to. And as we do this one more time, it's going to even get like a little more vigorous here. So if you could do this faster, do so. I'm noticing too, I need to kind of blow my nose as I'm doing this. I'm going to grab a tissue. You, of course, can start whenever you're ready, so a little faster. And pause. Clearing, cleansing, blow your nose if you need to. And we're going to move right towards the front of the mat. As you come towards the front of the mat, go this direction. I'm going to take palms together. We're going to prepare for a sun salutation. So ground your heels, please, and feel the back side of your body. This is so great for this awareness, because it's so common to have a little bit of a leaning forward. So when we do this, part of why we're doing this is that when you're physically here, you're actually in the present moment rather than leaning into the future. So arms come up and feel this actual sense, I'm right here. And then your arms go way out to the side. You pull your shoulder blades together. I know, we're kind of detailing this. Now hinge at the hips. And fold over. Breathe. And really do this pose. Straighten the legs. In a way, you are still widening across the chest here, rather than just letting the heart sink in. So get that, grow that length through the spine. Now, go ahead back to down dog. So feet stepping back, grounding your hands, opening, get that nice stretch through your palms. And feel the alignment now through your spine all the way to your brain. You could even sustain your attention at this space around your brain. Go ahead and move to plank pose. Great pose for aligning from tailbone all the way up to the brain. How are you holding your head here? Is there space in your mouth and throat? Go ahead and lower down onto the belly. And extend your legs back, way back. Lift a cobra. Now your heart is reaching forward, forward, forward. So cobra is going to turn into a back bend. But we also want to make sure let's do this incorrectly for a moment. Lift into your cobra pose, but actually drop your chin down. So I could feel I'm really going into this deep cobra pose, but I'm dangling my head. So play with that lift of your chin. There now. And you'll probably feel when you're lifting your chin way too much. My neck is crunching. And so I find just that middle path Just that right effort. Now go ahead and just back off a little bit, like you were at 80% of your cobra. Lengthen and lift your right leg. Engage those right glutes. Release the leg down. Lengthen and lift your left leg. Engage your left glutes. Leg comes down. Do this back and forth in a very mindful way. So there's a lot of space to breathe here. Maybe review this, like, what are you doing with your head? Just right for your legs, through your whole spine, lower back, space around your brain, your eyeballs. Good. Now as you release down, the toes tuck under, find a position for your hands where you could push straight down into your hands and it lifts you up. Down dog. Breathe, feel the space through your throat, neck. As if you could grow the length of your neck. Walk your feet forward. Now, come all the way up to standing. Ground your heels, and as you reach your arms up, feel the back side of your body. Grow length in your back side. And then take palms together in front of the heart. So the actual effort of aligning your head is really straight up. Even your eyes are looking straight forward. Wide across your chest. So it's good to do this. We're going to take 3 sun salutations. So what we just studied, we're going to now get into more of the feeling of it. Arms come up. Arms reach out to the side. Shoulder blades press on the back. Forward bend. Move to your down dog. Breathe so you can feel the spaciousness. Your plank pose. Awareness internally now as you lower down into your back bend. You could do your cobra. You might lift your legs a little bit. Breathe. Feel the space. Your down dog. Step the right foot forward. Step the left foot forward. Come all the way up to standing. Reach the arms up. Palms together in front of the heart. Arms reaching up. Reach your arms out to the side. Shoulder blades. Press on the back here. Hinge at the hips. Downward facing dog. Plank pose. Sensing this free flow of breath. Lower down to the belly. Your back bend. Almost like let the body decide what shape. If you move towards Shavasana, this pose you could study the shoulder blades on the back. Your down dog. And the left foot steps forward. Right foot forward, all the way up. Push into the feet. Palms together in front of the heart. Arms sweep up. Reach the arms out to the side. Shoulder blades slide onto the back here. Even draw your navel up. And then hinge at the hips. All the way over. Drop your head. Your down dog. Plank. Learn by feeling. Breathing and feeling. Lower down. Your back bend. Down dog. Lift your heels up, step the right foot forward. This time move right to a crescent pose. So you lift up, back leg stays straight. Arms reach out to the side. There's those shoulder blades on the back. The lift of the navel. Really strong as you bring shoulder blades on the back. It kind of hugs everything into the spine. So you balance, arms come up. Keep straightening the back leg. Even reach that inner left leg back. But we have to experience this sense of almost relax so the breath can flow. And then arms go back out to the side with shoulder blades on the back. Lean forward and balance on your right leg. Just stepping wherever you want to place that left foot. Can you still press the shoulder blades on the back without feeling like you're going to a big back bend? Your navel lifts up here. Line your throat, all of your airways from your nostrils to your lungs. Good. As you bring that left foot down, the arms go up. Back body lengthening and take palms together in front of the heart. I think that was 3 sun salutations, but I think I meant to say 4 because we got to do the other side. So the arms reach up and arms go way out to the side. There's those shoulder blades again. Press on the back in a way that creates a lot of space. Hinge at the hips, the legs firm and straighten as you go over. Down dog. Plank. Breathing and feeling. All the way down to the mat. Legs reaching back. Just letting the body just go into this back bend. Lots of space in the chest, throat, whole spine around your brain. As you let go of this, you just transition right to your down dog. Lift your heels way up, your left foot stepping up. So as you lift your crescent, remember crescent is where your back heel is lifted up. Straighten the back leg, the arms go out, so there's those shoulder blades on the back as you lift your navel a little bit. So what's happening as you bring awareness to shoulder blades and this space around the upper chest, throat, all of the airways, brain, sinuses, eyeballs relaxed. And then as you reach the arms out to the side again, you lean forward and you move into your tree pose. You can let your arms move wherever you want to here. Just breathe, feel. And kind of notice like what's alive here. What are you noticing today in your tree pose? So your whole mouth, tongue relaxed. As you bring that right foot down, the arms reach up, back body long, and take palms together in front of your heart. Breathing. Good. Let's bring the arms down. So I would like for you to step your feet wide apart. Let's do just a little bit of wide-legged work here. Always great to do this, our full kind of variety of movements. So as you step the feet wide apart, straighten your legs. So lift up. And as you pull up through your legs where you're actively straightening, you might actually feel how, it goes like right up through your spine. And in order to do that, you can't arch your lower back. Like as it pulls up, it's like your legs start at your navel. So you really pull up evenly right up to your whole navel waistband area. And then the ribs really lift up and you just reach your arms out. So let's feel shoulder blades on the back, pressing. Sometimes it helps to take your palms up here. Just get into that. Palms up is going to help you just rotate the arms in their sockets. And then that crown of the head up is you aware of your throat. Your chin is level. Mouth is relaxed. And then go ahead and just take your right foot. So I'm going to mirror you as you take your right foot and point it out to the right. Start to bend your right knee. And see how this feels in your throat, your spine, neck, throat, as you moving towards warrior 2. Like, are you starting to suddenly tense up? So could you free up any tension here? Straighten that left leg. So keep breathing and feeling. Maybe a little deeper into this. Like widen the feet apart. Really bend that right knee. Good. And now as you let this go, the arms will come down. You'll straighten that right leg and take your feet parallel. Even point your toes in a little bit here. So lift your chest. And even here, your arms are down, but feel the shoulder blades press on your back. And then you hinge forward to your full forward bend. Big breath. You want a sense of being balanced here. Now I'm going to have you come back up for a moment, and as you come up, straighten the legs like all the way up to your navel. And now take the hands behind you and interlace your fingers. So this is a just slightly different way of going to your forward bend with now your shoulder blades really pulling together. So keep the shoulder blades pulling together, possibly arms really straight. Lift the chest slightly, forward bend. So this is going to, this position of your bones with your fingers locked together might keep your shoulder blades pulling together and your chest really open as you go to your forward bend. Arms are lifting up away from your back. Stay connected to your breath. You can still really breathe freely here. Shoulder blades pull together. And then push into your feet and come up. Good. As you release the fingers, reach the arms out to the side. So arms reaching out, you're still staying wide across your chest, shoulders. Maybe rotate palms up. Feel the shoulder blades. Gently press on your back. And then we'll do the other side where you take your left foot, open left foot to the left. You start to bend your left knee and reach that knee to the left. Notice what happens around your throat or your neck here. But can you keep all of this space? The lift of your navel. So even though you're bending your left knee, you still have like your legs are pulling into their sockets and you're getting that lift up to your waistband. So your lower back is lifting up here. Reach that left knee. You might even take a little wider stance. Straighten the right leg. It's so good. You just explore this pose today. With that awareness around your brain, eyes, airways are open. As you let go, the arms come down, left leg straightens, and then feet forward. So now your feet are parallel again. So arms come behind, interlace your fingers. You might interlace them the different way, like with the other pointer finger on top. Lift the front of the body. Keep the shoulder blades hugging together as you hinge in your hips. So in this way, like your shoulder blades kind of drag down and lengthen your neck. Breathing to your belly, kind of these waves. You might even inhale and lift up a little bit. And then as you exhale, you just go, explore the forward bend. The sensing this energy through the spine to your brain. You have still a lot of space around your brain. Push into the feet now. Come up. Strong. Grounded. Release your fingers. And then just take your feet closer together. So legs are now close together, arms right down alongside you, standing upright. We go back to this study of uprightness. Now move yourself towards the back of the mat. We do one last little series of standing work where you are balancing on one leg, but there's something about like the tipping over into warrior three that we really have to be aware of what we're doing with our head, like what the head and the neck are doing here. So we're going to move in and out of this pose. I'm going to suggest arms out to the side a little bit. Don't push your chest forward, but you are pressing your shoulder blades on the back. Align your throat. So right foot will step forward a little bit. So why don't we start with kind of a partial warrior three, where you're going to balance on your right leg, get a little lift to your navel, and then reach your left leg back. Remember, we use the left glutes to keep it, keep the legs straight, lengthening back, and then just hinge forward a little bit. So it's kind of this small warrior three, and then you lift your navel to come up. And then you step that left foot forward, ground, straighten that standing leg, lift your navel up. Shoulder blades press on the back. You reach right leg back. Just a little hinge. Do not lean forward here. So there, you are in the present. And then lift your navel to come up. And then balance on the right leg. Now, you're going to just do this back and forth. You can stay as long as you want to do your study or study of yoga or freedom. You switch sides. So as you're going into this and out of this pose, we have that lighthearted quality because there's all this space around the heart and your throat is soft. So this might then surface at your lips. Like, oh, my lips are soft. Actually kind of smiling a little bit. What is your head doing? Are you dropping your chin down? Are you lifting your chin too much? So maybe doing this like 3 times on each side, or whatever feels right. Can we do this without the tensing and gripping, where you're almost holding your breath? That's why I like to be aware of the breathing. Like, oh yeah, this actually creates space to breathe. And then finishing up. whenever you're finished, you're just going to move to some great big sun breaths here. So the feet are grounded, and we just do the big inhale up. And then the exhale all the way over. And the inhale, you come up. Now you can do this as floppy as you want. I would suggest on the exhale is like a sigh. Might even be that sound. Feel the lungs just inflate and deflate. Maybe when you exhale, you kind of shake your head down there. Good, and then bring yourself right down to the floor. As you come down, you're going to sit with your legs in front of you. So, legs in front, you could lean back a little bit. Let's do that wide feet position. Start to drop the knees back and forth. So here's that space across the chest again without any giant back bend. Let's move into our twist here. So drop knees to your right side. Your left hip lifts up. I mean, look at, that's a big action. You know, that left hip, it really lifts up. And as it lifts, like, oh, the front of the body, heart lifts up a little bit here, but it's not a back bend. You know, you're just lengthening, kind of pulling the spine long as you breathe and twist. Breathing, twisting, like your waistband starts to rotate. Your rib cage starts to twist, rotate. Make sure you're not dangling your head. This is a good pose then to feel that lifting up right to the very topmost vertebra, to your brain. So even those neck vertebrae are getting a little twist. And breathe from pelvic floor all the way up. Release your twist. As you're untwisting, you're coming back towards the front. The legs move, the knees move up and over. As your knees drop to your left. So please, right hip lifts up. So that action really pulls, like your lower back in, opens in front of that right hip. And then you just lift your ribs. Lift, open the space inside the ribs. Twisting. So, breathing, feeling. You might tell if you're kind of cranking or pushing too hard. Beautiful practice. It's so, fascinating. We've all been playing with this word patience lately. here it is, shows up so much in our yoga practice. And you might notice, like, oh, yeah, I've really practiced this quality of patience, abiding with nature. So breathe, feel the space inside of your chest. What are you doing with your head here? And then gradually untwist. As you're untwisting, as you come back to the front here, just a little loose back and forth again. So knees back and forth. Now, I do want to do one final pose where we are on the backside. That does open the upper chest throat area, and it is a back bend. So if you don't feel like doing this pose, you could just kind of work with a bridge pose. So we will start with a one little bridge pose and then move into our fish pose. So lay on your back, and for our warm up for bridge pose, knees are bent, feet on the floor. So feel your head pushing down here, like straight down, so your throat is aligned. And as you push your head down, slightly lift your breastbone, ground your shoulders. So there's that slight shoulder blades pressing on your back feeling. Push your feet down now and lift your butt away from the floor. But really curious about this alignment through neck, shoulders, upper back, the lift of the breastbone, tailbone in. Breathing. Breath now easily flowing to your brain here. Wide across your chest, way out at the outer arms, grounding down, almost rolling under with your shoulders. Now, go ahead and release down. Now, as your spine comes down, fish pose is actually very different in a way. The only thing that's similar is the lift of the sternum, the lift of the breastbone. So you're going to extend your legs out straight together, like your legs are almost touching, and then your toes are pointing up. So let's take the variation where you bend your elbows and you point your fingers to the ceiling. So your elbows are kind of hugging the sides of your body. And we ground the elbows down. You push your elbows down. And you imagine there's a string on your sternum, and it's just going to lift your sternum straight up. And as your sternum lifts up, what's left is there's weight on your butt. Your butt is down, and your head. But, that's the main 2 points. Grounding your butt, your pelvis, and there's a little weight on your head. And your elbows. Your elbows could push down. But, eventually I can actually lift my elbows up a little bit. Because most of the weight is on the pelvis, the butt pressing down, head grounding, lift. So get a sense of this upper chest, throat area. You could lift your chin up to the point like, it just feels good to stretch your throat. So keep getting wide across the chest, stretching your pectoral area. Just breathe, feel, and then just let yourself kind of slide down out of this. Your arms come down. Now, you could do bridge pose, you could do that same pose, or I'm just going to show variation two of fish pose. Bend your knees, please. Bring your feet on the mat. And then just lift your right buttock up. Slide your right hand and wrist under your butt. So your palm faces down. And then do the other side. So you like lift your left buttock up, you tuck your hand, your wrist underneath. So you're going to end up sitting on your hands. I kind of feel pressure on my wrists. And then even roll your shoulders under a little bit and re-extend your legs. Now you just start to lift your spine up. Like you could feel like, oh, your back muscles work so that your spine lifts up. And as your breastbone really starts to lift up, naturally your head will probably toss back a little bit. You might even walk your fingers down the backs of your legs here to draw your shoulder blades down and together. And keep lifting your breastbone. Big opening for upper chest, throat area. Even around the hollows of your head. It's good for your brain, eyes, ears. Straighten your legs. Good, and then just slide down. And then bend your knees. As you start to let go of this, the arms come out. Drop your spine down. And let's just do that, our Shavasana preparation. You reach your arms out to the side. You walk your feet wider apart and just drop your knees back and forth. That really loose, fluid action. Like already, like the body is kind of sinking into the floor. Your head might move back and forth a little bit, but your head is getting heavier. As you are ready, you can take this to Shavasana. You could let your legs kind of slide and straighten. You might even play with letting your legs be a little wider apart than they typically are, even your arms. Because you might feel your shoulder blades again, like, oh, where would the shoulder blades go? And then just let the arms go wherever they go, moving into Shavasana. It's nice to be present while you're doing Shavasana. It is kind of fascinating. Like, wow, this is what it feels like to be still. How the body and the mind kind of thirst for stillness and quiet. As you close your eyes, make sure that you feel your eyes, that they're actually soft and relaxed. And they're soft and relaxed because of your complete attention. I'm letting go of any tension around my face, lips, throat. We're even patient here because this letting go takes some time. So stay intimate, stay connected, even feel your belly, all these muscles now doing nothing. As you bring awareness back, one thing we might learn in corpse pose is that we're not dead. Is that, oh yeah, there's this remembering, like, I'm alive. And it's a time of just reflecting on what we're doing with our life. What are you doing with the gift of your attention? What are you giving your attention to? It's precious. So as you come out of Shavasana now, and there's a little, it's almost like a rebirth, every time, eyes wide open. So we'll take palms together in front of the heart. There's a lot of repetition in this practice where we check like again and again, looking into the heart, allowing the heart to be free. And as we do this work, may it benefit all beings. May it lead to the health and the wellness of all beings. And we'll close with the sound of Om. Please join if you wish. Take a deep inhale. Thank you so much for joining here. This virtual classroom is, in a way, just kind of ridiculous, but so helpful. So may we continue to practice together. I hope to see you soon. I'll just let you know that today, as a reminder, it's almost going on 11 o'clock here. And if you want to, you could do another class at noon because I'm teaching outside. I have an outdoor class that is here in Minneapolis on 45th Avenue and 32nd Street. And if you, I think that's might be the last one that I hold, but these are kind of pop-up classes, so you just never know. If you want to, if you're not on my email list, you could be. Just show me an email at nancy@boleryoga.com. I'm pretty easy to find on the webs. And then Saturday class tomorrow morning from 9 to 11. That's a 2-hour class, and that one is on my website. There's a Zoom link there. You just click and attend. So otherwise, let me know if there's any questions I've left unanswered. Thanks for sharing a little comment in the chat. I'm glad you could join, Ria. I don't know that we've met. Yay. Susie, also nice to, I don't know that I've read a comment from you. And we have so fun that I got to be at Prairie Farm today. So Prairie Farm is the retreat property of Common Ground Meditation Center that is in Wisconsin. And you know what, folks? Someday, I'm going to be holding yoga retreats there. So, yeah. But let's just stay, present, connected. And in this way, we just, our days can be just so rich and full, even when we do the most mundane things. I know what a day that shall be. So I'll just drop in the reminder too that these, classes are offered in the spirit of generosity. We don't make you, there's no required payment. But if you are so moved to support me, to support Common Ground, you can do that. Really easy to find on the Common Ground Meditation Center website of how to support the center. There's really clear instructions there. And yeah, hey Chris, Elaine, yeah. Peace, everyone.